Welcome to Cinema Discussions. My name is John. I'm joined by
Chris.
And
Vaughan,
who is our senior New York
senior New York disaster correspondent.
Yes. Today we're discussing Ghostbusters. With the title is only Ghostbusters and nothing else.
That's it, which
slightly
makes it kind of confusing when you type it into Google.
This is the 2016 version, not the 1984 version, because even though that one is in theaters now as well, because they keep playing it places. But the new one is what we're talking about, directed by Paul Feig, also known as Lady Ghostbusters by some people. And as known by the people who were sitting next to me in the theater, the latest edition of Crystal Skull, but that was the people in my row called it. But before we get into spoilers about the film, we're going to give our recommendation for the film, which will already be interesting, I think, based on things I've heard whispers from these other guys. How would you recommend this film to people?
I would not.
I would. I absolutely would recommend this film to people if you're a fan of the original movie, as long as you're not already looking to hate it. If you're looking to go in with an open mind
if you can manage expectations.
Yeah. I think if you're looking to go in with an open mind on it and you like the original one, then I think you'll enjoy this one.
Really, if you just have a good modern sense of humor, you'll get a good laugh. My recommendation is do not view it as a remake. Just view it as
absolutely not.
View it as an original movie. Pretend the original Ghostbusters doesn't exist, and this is its own movie. And that was the mistake I made, which is why. If you're a critic like me who's just critical of everything and hates life, then just avoid it.
Yep.
But otherwise, let's go into it right now, why I hate it so much.
Well, my positive note about it is I did have a strong desire for Chinese food by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Let's pause now. We're going to give a spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
For the rest of the thing. So when I went to see 1984 Ghostbusters re-released into theaters, at the end of it, they showed behind the scenes of the new film. Paul Feig was hosting it and showing clips from the making of the newer movie, and every clip that they showed looked like a shot from the original movie, and made it look like it was going to be a shot-for-shot remake, and I got really disappointed because I did not want to see.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
No, that sounded horrible. So that's what I went in going to. I was expecting that going into the film.
Yeah.
So what I got,
Paul Feig is no Harold Ramis.
No.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but what I got was a unique film on its own that was taking the idea of the Ghostbusters and just doing it in this way that was still reminiscent of the style of the original, but being its own thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Because my problem was I was trying to view it as a remake. And that kind of made me a little bit bitter because I realized you can't cross streams, and there's the part with the dragon.
Yeah, they don't even mention the crossing the streams.
They don't mention it.
And they weren't crossing the streams with the dragon. They were pointing them all at the same thing.
But the way that
crossing the streams is a different thing altogether. That's when they actually cross the streams to make one beam.
When it gets all mangled, though, I feel like that should at least trigger the nuclear reaction. And they only mention that the introduction of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man isn't really that well introduced. It just shows.
No, but the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is a homage. That's just a balloon.
Yeah, I know, but then the Ice Cream Man, where he just randomly says ice cream, the way that's set up, it's
ice cream.
I think that's what it's supposed to be because he's on the ground and
you mean
when Liam Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth, that one fucking.
Are you talking about the ghost at the end?
Yeah, the
Ghostbuster logo.
That was the Ghostbuster logo? I didn't know.
Yes.
Why do you say ice cream then?
I don't remember him saying ice cream.
Does he look like a swirly or something?
I don't think he said ice cream.
That's what I heard him say.
No, I don't think he said ice cream. So what it is they said they wanted something. They wanted something cute. Now it was a little. It seemed a little forced in there when they had "What form would you like me to take?" It seemed a little forced in there to be an homage to the first one. But for the form that they're talking about, like something cute, and they said, "Oh, how about this logo that you guys have been using?" Which is also using the logo from the original one. But they take that logo and that logo gets animated, and they're like, "Oh, I'm all cute and tiny," and then he grows and becomes a big thing. So he's the ghost from the Ghostbusters logo. That's what he is. That's the final
And
the final form that they show.
Yeah.
It was still all forced. It's not just a few things.
Well, that entire sequence of them trying to invent their logo for the Ghostbusters company, that
made me laugh.
Severely forced.
It did make me laugh when there was like
I like the hot dog.
the hot dog floating above the house.
I like
There was.
like that.
I did not laugh out loud at any of the jokes. I just remember chuckling, like, I have an anti-Irish fence, or he has that. And
I
there's
laughed
like
at a lot of things.
one guy laughed out loud, and I was like, oh, that is funny. It was never laugh out loud hilarious for me.
I laughed at a good number of things. I don't know like how hard I laughed, but I had a smile on my face throughout most of the movie. The people sitting next to me in the theaters seemed like a group of 4 frat brothers. They went in there drinking, and during the trailers and everything before the movie, we're already talking shit on the film. And then, we're talking shit during the film and then at the end of the film. Well, actually, no. 2 of the guys were laughing at the movie and seemed to be enjoying it, but then their friends who were the alphas of their group were talking about how horrible it was, and the ones were like, yeah. They seemed to go in it looking for something bad.
The thing is, I hate that I have to say for a movie, I'm a feminist, but because that makes me seem like I'm a sexist. Actually,
but
it's
you
not.
are.
It's not. Yeah,
You are, but
I'm
continue.
actually sexist. You
are
caught me.
sexist.
It's not the fact that it's an all-female cast that annoyed me. It's how it's written. That's why I hated a lot of the movie.
There were moments of it that I didn't like, but I looked over those because it's unfortunate things that are in them. But even in the original Ghostbusters, there's stuff written in ways that aren't my liking.
The thing is, Kristen Wiig's a terrible character. She's a mean person, and they don't even address how mean she is. She's published a book, and she's like getting profits off it. That not Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy.
She doesn't want the profits on it.
Melissa McCarthy's the one that's getting profits from it, and like
Abby.
stealing it from Kristen Wiig's character. I forgot the name. Sorry. But
Okay, that's a completely different thing. If you're talking about
that's just the
Get the
character.
names right.
I don't
Yeah.
give a shit. But
But when you're talking about which characters are
yeah,
mean, you're saying
so
they're saying
Melissa
that Kristen Wiig's
McCarthy-
character is
Yeah,
mean.
terrible.
Okay.
Melissa McCarthy,
basically stealing money, and then somehow Kristen Wiig completely forgets about this. Like, oh yeah, you are my friend, even though you have been living off of what I also could have earned as well. I should mention the cameos because
But Kristen Wiig doesn't want the money from the book
she's
because
trying
she
to
wants
be
to
a
get tenure.
respectable
Yeah.
scientist.
She wants to be a respectable scientist, and she needs to put the ghost stuff behind her.
of course.
Until she finds she sees an actual ghost with
But
evidence to back it up.
even if that's what you still wanted, if you found out that your best friend, let's say like Stefan or Matt, you'd written a book with them.
Look, but the thing she didn't want isn't she didn't want the book to be published at all because she didn't want her name on it. If her friend had taken her name off the book and profited off of that, she would have been fine with it.
But but this is still
probably.
that's not the case though, because let's say that even after she's okay, later, let's say it's the end of the movie. And like Melissa McCarthy still has these earnings, I still feel like there's tension that should be there, because it's still like stealing someone's living, even if you don't want it.
No, it's not even selling that well.
I know. But
Did you see that the mark down constantly on the book, trying to push
she
it?
lowered the price like 4 times.
Yeah.
Of course, that's still.
But so what I'm saying is somewhat like this is you make something with your best friend as you have fun with it over the summer, you write whatever script that it is, but then you move on and you become this person that like it's tough for me to say because there's not a thing that I would be embarrassed by in that way that I've anything that I've written. But if you were the type of thing, I'm trying to find a good example of an author out there, but if you had written something that is or say a director that had done some
Porn.
well, porn, but I think even more.
It's like if
thinking of a
bad movie, if
like the
Stanley Kubrick also
the trauma
did
pictures.
Scooby-Doo.
The trauma picture stuff. If say Stanley Kubrick had worked for Trauma and had done stuff under a different name, and then but then it made a career. Not even like it's got to be something even more than Kubrick, but just someone who made just the best serious movies, all like the artistic super
let's
stuff.
say-
and then they released that with his name on it.
But let's also say that Stanley Kubrick also didn't excel in his career. Let's say that again, he was like Kristen Wiig also got fired.
But Kristen Wiig before the book is out is up for tenure and is up for having the best stuff happening with her career, and she wants the book gone because it's going to hurt her in that sense. She only got fired after she
after
went
the
for
video,
the Ghost experience.
of course, yeah. But it's still dickish on Melissa McCarthy's end. I feel like even if there's
It's not. It is, but in a different for a different reason.
It's even allowed under like copyright law or something.
It's only
because they're co-authors.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I
so
think
but that's for the reason of her putting it out there when it's when the co-author doesn't want it to be out there at all. It's not for the thing of collecting the profits and not
but
giving her
still,
the profits on it. But I think all is forgiven when they find the group together, because that's what they wanted to do initially. They were into the paranormal together to begin with, but it was only because that wasn't accepted by the establishment of scientists.
But even that changes too fast. Instantly,
No.
Kristen Wiig already, they say, oh, there's the ghost at the Altamont, whatever it was called.
The Aldridge Manor.
Aldridge Manor, and then somehow Kristen Wiig also tags along.
She tags along because she needs to introduce them to the contact.
Yeah.
The old guy.
And they were
instantly, like, the ghost stuff starts happening.
And she didn't want to be
of course.
Yeah, so she didn't want to be in with it, but as soon as she
As soon as they see the ghost, like, oh my god, I saw a ghost.
Once you see a ghost and you see that, now she's more interested in it and wants to be a part of that.
It still seems rushed, though. The fact that she consented to like introduce the contacts if Melissa McCarthy took down the book.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like that would be like something you need to think of. Just like,
first of all, not for the purposes of any film. When you need to get stuff done in an hour and a half, that's not rushed at all for the purposes of that.
It's like an hour
and
56,
I don't
but
think
still short.
Yeah, I don't think it's that rushed in that way. I think they paced it out just fine with her reluctance and only slowly getting into the group by being fired from her job. And even then, when she's fired, she's not completely on board with it. Like, she's seen proof of evidence of ghost, but she's gotten fired from the job. She still has that moment afterwards of just trying to come to terms with everything in her life at that point. Mm-hmm. So I feel that they took the appropriate time with it, and they gave all of the reasoning that they needed to for her to leave her job or to put her goals aside to pursue this.
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
But still, I didn't like the characters. I didn't like a lot of things.
I really liked Kate McKinnon's character. I think she was my favorite.
That
of the
was
Ghostbusters.
Holtzman?
Yeah, Holtzman.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was... Oh, fuck, you just reminded me. The cameo. There's
All the cameos.
All the cameos.
So the
but-
very first cameo is a bust.
Yeah, and I realized that. But then as soon as Bill Murray entered, I realized, oh, there's going to be the rest of them.
Yeah.
But Bill Murray's character, his second appearance served no purpose because he gets thrown out the window by a ghost and dies.
And killed, presumably.
And no, he does die.
But he's the guy. He's the main vocal person on the news that's that's debunking them.
Mm-hmm.
But there's...
And they had the opportunity of, if they showed
They're being
him...
tracked, though.
Yes.
So when he gets thrown out the window and then the National Homeland Security shows up, his death was completely pointless. The Homeland Security could have came up to them at any time and said...
As far as moving the plot forward, it's pointless in that, but in them wanting to seek legitimacy...
Just the first appearance with him was fine, but then that second time where they had to, kill him off.
I liked his character as of trying to gain legitimacy in the media, in the eyes of the media, because they're getting it with you're in the moment that they're at. They haven't been approached by Homeland Security yet, so that's not part of it. So they Homeland Security, they're on their radar, and the plot would have moved forward without him. He's Indiana Jones in the situation. He's not necessary for the furtherment of the plot, but. In their eyes, they're seeking to get legitimacy for things, and everyone's calling them fake, and he's one of the main vocal people on the media calling them fake. So by getting him to come there and actually show him a ghost, because he's saying
they didn't get him to come here, he just came there.
Yeah, he came there. It was, but I'm saying having him see a ghost and have that opportunity, that would, for Kristen Wiig, she wants to be legitimate. She wants to show that the science that she's doing can actually be backed up and proven.
Well, it's a good thing they addressed that scene later on.
They didn't. They didn't need to because people showed him at different points. Look, I'm saying you're correct that it's not necessary in the overall plot of the film, but I think it worked for that moment. If without knowing that his character is going to be killed off, it's a step that is useful for them.
But it doesn't even do anything to her character because later on in the movie, it's not like she still goes on to want to have the same legitimacy that she was going after with Bill Murray's character, whatever it was. But it was just.
It gives you surprise of his death because you don't expect that that's going to happen, because normally that would be a thing that would further their plot, is by giving him
I don't
giving them legitimacy.
expect him like, oh, I want to see it. And then I do expect it. In fact, I wasn't surprised. I was more surprised that Homeland Security just came up and completely ignored it, and is probably going to cover up his death.
Well, when
this big cover up with the city of New York.
Yeah.
But they first open the container and nothing's in it. So then there's the question, for that moment, there's the question of, okay, what's happening to these ghosts of their containment? Are they actually
there was that like
them
half
well?
a second where nothing happened.
Yeah, and that's such a good moment that I liked in there.
It would have been better if nothing came out. That way he can just like...
That would have been good too, but then Homeland Security shouldn't have shown up. That you would have changed the
Homeland Security would have already been there.
No, they're in the world that they have established. Yes, but I'm saying writing wise, if you're writing the plot of the movie, then you wouldn't want to have them show up, because this is going to go in a different direction.
Or you can try to have like them try to pick a fight, and then the police come and they're like breaking up the fight. Homeland Security says, "No, we'll take care of this."
What would happen at that point is nothing's in there. Then they're saying, "What's happening to it?" They start infighting amongst themselves. Bill Murray says, "Okay, you're obviously just making this up. This isn't. You're wasting my time," and he leaves.
But then even at that point, a ghost can come out, and still the Homeland Security say, "Okay, he didn't die, but I see this ghost right here," and then they can put it back in containment, because I don't believe it ever gets recontained until...
It doesn't get recontained.
Yeah. But then they can prove that they're like actually capable, other than just word of mouth and whatever, if they're wiretapped or not. So really, this whole thing, it just seems really half-assed. They could have rewritten the script a few more times, so that way they could have fixed all these like pointless kinks and these issues with characters and holes and
I don't think that was at all. I like that one. Go on to your next plot hole. Let's go on to that one too.
Plot holes.
Keep pointing out all of them. I like talking about all these moments because they're fun moments that I like discussing.
Oh, there's only like one thing that really made my jaw go down and like roll my eyes is when they did that the remix of the Ghostbusters song as they're going to
that was dumb.
That cover by Fall Out Boy?
I don't know.
Whoever it is, it's dumb. I didn't like it.
Herbie Hancock.
I think I happened to be listening to the radio and they said it was the Fall Out Boy. I could have gone my entire life without hearing that.
Oh,
that was dumb. Ozzy's cameo was unnecessary.
Yeah,
it was just in on the side.
Some of the cameos, like Dan Aykroyd, there could have done something else to him other than, "No, I can't give you a taxi ride." I'm Dan Aykroyd.
He was fine. That was just a shoot-in cameo.
I liked Ernie's.
He was a good cameo.
Him the uncle. Yeah,
and I knew that one was coming for a while.
Introduced really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish they could have done something similar. I know Bill Murray was introduced as a good cameo, but then ended up kind of...
But I think what I'm thinking...
And then Sigourney Weaver at the end.
Sigourney Weaver was a good one. What I like as my theories on everything, what I would like them to do is make this clearly an alternate dimension, an alternate universe to the other one, so that it is parallel to the other one, so that each of those characters in their cameos, the reason that they are the way they are is that they are alternate versions of their other selves. So Harold Ramis's character is still a scientist, but a respected scientist that never went into paranormal stuff. And I think it would be interesting if so Bill Murray's character and Ernie Hudson's character, they're like. Like Bill Murray is the opposite of, like, he never believed in the ghosts in his normal one. So if he hadn't come across ghosts in the other one, he would have been this debunker in this other way. However, I think that Dan Aykroyd's character should be a jaded, the same character as the original one. Who had gotten thrown into the alternate dimension through the events of Ghostbusters 3. Did not happen. But that they can go back and
Ghostbusters
retro
go to hell.
Yeah, Ghostbusters go to hell. So he gets so something happens to his character in that throws him into this alternate dimension. But he in this dimension he hasn't seen any of the ghosts. Like, he's been waiting this whole time and doing his whole life. So when he talks about I ain't afraid of no ghosts, saying that in there, like, he's already lived through that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Way. And that's where I see his character. So I'm writing my own story behind for each of them, but I like my story.
Yeah, that's actually really clever. Now, I just wish...
You established that in the sequel.
Yeah, I wish the comedy was... I liked how dry it was in the original. This one does have that they go up and there's that fart EVP. Actually, it was a queef.
Yeah, like really.
Yeah.
There's some of that dumb jokes in the original one too. I just rewatched that one, and in rewatching it, it's got a lot of dumb humor in there.
But some is less than a majority. That's
I think that the majority of the jokes in this one were of a good style. Other ones that I didn't like were the wrestling, the fire hose kind of
like the
proton pack thing. I didn't like that one.
Chris Farley type humor.
Yeah, with the number of times they fall on their proton packs, there should be like a rupture happening in there at some point, causing a nuclear meltdown in New York City.
Potentially.
Yeah, they were basically portable nuclear reactors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wish the ghosts in both movies looked better because they both just looked like these really colorful. They look like the Nickelodeon slime is what they look like.
Yeah, I mean it's their stuff. I think they might have overused the slime, but I think this was the
all of the ghosts were really
for
attractive too.
Yeah, I'd have sex with the
all of them, like that end scene,
the Slimer,
that end scene with
the female Slimer,
all the ghosts.
Yeah,
you'd have sex with female.
The Slimer was kind of funny. That it was kind of.
I enjoy that. It was a funny laugh.
Most of the other ghosts were pretty attractive for dead beings.
I'm wondering if you can can you really stab a ghost with a pocket knife or what?
Would
you just go through? I know it was the balloon ghost.
It was a balloon that was possessed. Yeah.
Oh, it was possessed.
It would seem to be. It's some weird thing going on.
I wish that was established better. It could have been like a Macy's Day, and then the parade, and then the ghost possessed the balloons.
Yeah,
and that would have had made more sense.
Yeah, rather than having what looks like a ghost actually just walking down the street.
Otherwise, the army armed with guns about to shoot ghosts, and if the army had...
Well, yeah, but they've never experienced anything like that before, I'm
really happy that the army didn't shoot ghosts and have bullets go through, otherwise that just would have nullified everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That defended it, so...
Yeah.
But it just... If Kate McKinnon's character says, "Oh yeah, this Swiss Army knife, it has an ectoprotonic metal, so that way you can actually stab a ghost to death again," or something stupid like that. Where it's not. There's a blessed Swiss Army knife.
Yeah,
I don't know anything.
A holy knife.
Yeah, a holy knife. I don't know even that. Just about stabbing a ghost. And I feel like the character in the intro who soiled. I don't remember character names in movies, but the character who soiled himself, quote unquote. I feel like he would have been possessed or something.
Guy.
Yeah, I thought that he was going to be possessed.
He got off the hook easy
in that scene. I when the ghost is coming for him, I thought that he was going to be possessed and that he was possessed in the later scene.
Yeah, I thought he was going to turn into the villain via the ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got the other guy instead.
Seemed like a possibility. And I just saw this because you pull up Wikipedia. Andy Garcia, the guy who played the Mirror, he would be exceptional in a movie based on Bernie Madoff. He just looks just like the guy.
I think he did a good job. I don't like the mayor's assistant as much. But
yeah,
that's fine.
When she's being pulled out of the restaurant and holding onto the table.
Yeah.
As far as other cameos too, Annie Potts cameo, and we mentioned her.
Yeah.
But that was a great cameo.
Yeah.
Just the same character. In the same, it also works in that alternate reality thing. She's still a receptionist, and it's the same
because she's actually it's Pat, so she just has the same gender in both universes.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know. I wish I had a list.
Well, so what do you? How would you go about Chris Hemsworth's character?
I didn't like him.
I liked his character.
Yeah, I get that they were trying to make him dumb, but they made him so dumb that he would be utterly incapable of supporting himself in day-to-day life.
No, he lucks into things and people give him things because he looks so good.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah, he's utterly incapable of fending for himself.
They've established that plenty, that he's good looking and that they
but with other jobs,
I think that I think it's...
They should make him more of a lucky character then, if that's the case.
You don't need to show all of his backstory to establish things. I think he's just fine in there. I loved his stupidity.
It was deeper than stupidity. A fundamental misunderstanding.
Oh, it's too loud. It's too loud.
Like the hipster glasses with no lenses in
But
them.
they weren't hipster glasses with no lenses. He wasn't putting them on to be a hipster. He needed glasses, wore glasses, but they kept getting dirty, so
he
took the
just-
lenses out so they stopped getting dirty.
Oh my god.
I liked
Yeah, he's
every-
too dumb for hipster.
I liked
Okay.
the dumbness.
So
Well, they made the joke twice. He covered his eyes
Yes.
and that loud noise happened.
Yes.
It's like, why? It's like, okay, he's doing it. Okay, he's dumb, but why is he doing that?
Because that's what he thinks.
So I take it Kate McKinnon, Melissa McCarthy, all these people are paranormal experts, so I don't know how they can't immediately tell that Melissa McCarthy is possessed the moment that she walks out of the bathroom, just like looking.
They've been researching everything that they could about ghosts without actually being in contact with ghosts. That was the thing. Like, that's all the equipment the detector thing, when it starts spinning, they're like,
I suppose technically,
I've never seen one
But
before
here's the
with
thing.
this equipment, so I
They
haven't seen that.
have already encountered that guy, though. They already know his personality of how he's just so calm. Even a lady who was at the metro station, whose name...
It wasn't too long before
Patty.
she starts acting weird, so I think that at first it was just your friends acting.
thing is-
if Patty picked it up relatively quickly,
If it was something they devoted their life to, they should be able to tell, like, spot on the signs of paranormal, and they should be able to tell the signs.
I suppose technically they have never witnessed a possession until this point.
I mean, even I'm not an expert, but I am a huge
But you've
fan of
had
paranormal.
friends that just act
Yeah.
weird sometimes.
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're just acting a little different. Like,
Okay.
and you're like, that's odd. So the first thing you're not gonna think of, you're fucking possessed. I'm gonna kill you, because that's not the first reaction you do to your friends.
well, no, 'cause all you have to do is
But, I
slap
mean-
them. You just slap the
just-
ghost out of
I
him.
feel like they could have made more of an effort, but then when
There's also another dumb joke, but
the ghost leaves and then possesses Chris Hemsworth.
yes.
Why does the ghost have a British accent then? Like,
Because
Chris
Rowan did, kind of.
Yeah, it takes on his voice.
The guy did, yeah.
No,
if it takes on his, why does it also take on the accent if it's just the voice?
And
I
it-
feel like it should just take on the personality and nothing else.
because it's using it's possessing him. That's what it
his
did.
voice box is also English.
Because when you think to yourself, like, you think in your own voice usually.
He's not thinking
it
for
was a-
himself though.
Australian
It's
accent.
it's
not
nothing.
British.
Whatever
Yeah, Chris
accent.
Hemsworth is Australia. The guy, our villain, our villain that makes no sense, Rowan.
who has no control for himself. He has no ability to stop and think. He has no control. This is all villain guy whose name I forgot.
Yeah, Rowan.
Rowan, whose name I heard 5 times and somehow didn't remember. So it'd be like trying to. I had an example that I just forgot, and that's why I should write more stuff down. But it's like somehow because Chris Hemsworth can ride a motorcycle now, Rowan can ride a motorcycle. It's like, does the position make it combine DNA?
It's like who cares?
It's not about the
happens.
DNA of your
would
motorcycle. It's the your
Rowan-
brain and your motor skills.
Would
of that.
Rowan now be able to ride a motorcycle in someone else's body now that he's rid it in someone else's?
Because it's controlling. I think it's controlling him to say,
Like, sure, why not?
do this, ride this motorcycle. Like, if you were to take over a pilot, you could fly the plane. But if you were to take over a random person, if you know how to do it, then you'd have the knowledge and you could control their body to do that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think you can take over the thing, and it's more of a
like
suggestion
second-hand knowledge.
It's like hijacking somebody else's knowledge, but not absorbing their knowledge.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, that was just kind of weirdly established. I mean,
Yeah,
they could have even said,
you can kind of.
or they could have said something like, I wonder if his muscle memory is still the same, because, I mean, that's muscle memory is just involuntary muscle movement. They could say something about like
That's. I think that's what I took it to
and
mean.
I wish they could have established something like
I
that.
think. I think
Yeah.
it was fine.
Because with the accent, though, he did not need to have. He needed to have that accent that Rowan had.
And then the other whole problem is like why the villain is doing any of this. Is like, is it really just because he was bullied? Like, is that it?
The Waylands.
He's been bullied his whole life, and then was reading into this stuff.
Yeah, then he happened to pick up this book, and like the book gave him the idea.
Yes,
Or-
it's the John Hinckley thing.
Catcher in the Rye.
This is Catcher in the Rye.
Ghost in the Rye.
Yeah, this is he found this book, and he's like, this is how I'm gonna take my
Yeah,
revenge.
I
That sounds
forgot
like a
about
good
that.
idea.
Okay.
It was really comical when he just makes his first introduction. labor workers are going to be the fourth whatever sacrifice. I wish they could have introduced the idea of ley lines better, because those seem like Chekhov's
ley lines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that it seemed like Chekhov's ley lines. Like, really could have said something like,
I think they could have. That's another thing about time for the movie.
They said the very simple explanation of it.
idea. So when Ed Begley Jr., I believe, goes up to
He should be called Ed Begley now. He's so old.
Ed
Should not be called Junior
Ed
anymore.
Begley clone.
There's no senior anymore.
When he approaches Kristen Wiig, he could read an excerpt from the book about way lines, and that way it's just subtly there. But Kristen Wiig's like, no, that's all baloney. Leave.
Yeah, I think if Waylines would have been,
It could have been so much more clever.
I think they could have been. There's just I don't know. That could be something that they're just that they put in there for people who are more interested in that subject, would already know that.
It just could have been
also
so much
like
more smarter.
I like the Ed Mulgrave joke. Ed Mulgrave's been dead
Yeah,
for years.
that one.
I clearly met
The junior.
Like, no, I'm.
But being-
you mean this guy?
But being Ed Begley Jr. in that sense, I think that was also good casting.
Yeah.
You're like, I was just talking to Ed Begley. Ed Begley's been dead for years.
He's been dead for you. You mean this guy?
In your theater, was it like half of the theater was like laughing out loud and half were probably laughing to themselves? That's
Yeah,
what
I heard very little.
My whole theater was laughing for a lot of it, but
because for mine it was like my half wasn't really laughing, the other half they were laughing out loud at.
When I saw it, I would say there was about 20, low 20s other people in there. Mm-hmm. Kind of scattered about. I think I heard laughter like twice.
Mm-hmm. I had a lot of
my theater was full.
but the kids weren't laughing at the jokes.
I didn't see any kids there.
Yeah.
Mine was the first showing.
So it's probably
people are
for
drinking.
more older contemporary audiences
Oh, yeah.
that would.
Mm-hmm. Well, adult comedy.
Yeah.
So
but there's still fart jokes and dick jokes.
yeah. So that's one thing.
Kind of like the
Everyone can
really
enjoy
obvious dick joke when they first try the proton pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is one thing I should point out. Just some kids, or a lot of kids, weren't laughing at the joke. So something, see for yourself and judge for yourself if your kid will like it. I don't know. I'm not a fan of
Kids just see the movie
Probably
anyway,
not
but-
ideal for younger than 15.
It's not inappropriate. It's just I don't know if they'll get the jokes,
yeah.
and they'll hate it later on. Like, I didn't laugh, and then later on they'll appreciate it more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or do that. Maybe they'll like it more than the second. I haven't seen it a second time yet, so I can't go back and.
I kind of want to see it again.
It's something I should go back to a second time.
I don't know if I'll see it again in theaters, but I'll definitely see it again when it comes out after that. If I don't see it in theaters again, but I do want to see it again. So I also another little thing I like. There's some numbers on their proton pack that I don't know what they had to do with, whether it was voltage, whether it was the capacity or whatever. But it was on Kate McKinnon's pack said 1984 on it. So
I didn't notice that.
reference.
Didn't see that.
Yeah. Well, at first I thought the Harold Ramis bust was just an homage to Harold Ramis because he was like.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that earlier. That in the very beginning, the copper.
Yes.
bust. Yeah,
That's what I said, the first one was a
I
bust.
thought that might have been him, but I wasn't really sure.
Oh, it was.
I knew it was him.
absolutely.
Okay.
I knew it was
Harold
him.
Ramis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the whole film was dedicated to him at the end. I like the very end post credit scene.
I might have walked out earlier, so I didn't get to see it.
Yeah. Well, I saw them.
You saw it, didn't you?
I saw.
Because the very end one, after all the
Oh,
credits. were
after
done
the
rolling.
credits. No, I had to go to the bathroom.
Oh
So I ran out.
man!
All right, tell
because it
us.
sets up for the sequel. They're listening back.
Of course it does.
They're listening
The
back.
squeakquel.
They're listening back to audio recordings that they've done, paranormal audio recordings, and I think
the one from earlier.
I think
in
it's
the movie.
Leslie Jones' character, and she's saying, "Hey guys, who's Zool?"
Okay.
So that's where it ends.
Or
there. So
you know what? It actually,
I like that. My theater enjoyed that.
if
Man.
I have no problem if
Yes, I
Bill
did.
Murray died and the voice on him, it was like his voice as a ghost mentioning Zool, because then I would be like, okay, I can see why he had to die.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, it kind of.
Well, I mean, it's sad that Bill Murray never approved Ghostbusters 3 script, because that's what this was supposed to be, and they were going to do a Passing of the Torch movie. But Bill Murray, as far as Ivan Reitman said, Ivan Reitman says he doesn't think that Bill Murray ever finished reading that script after the scene in which he dies.
Oh, I didn't know he was going to die.
Yeah, his character's supposed to die in the third Ghostbusters movie and become a ghost. And
Just like Casper.
yeah, just like Casper,
Casper was the third Ghostbusters.
which also has the Ghostbusters in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they all...
So it is a Ghostbusters movie.
That's the unofficial sequel.
It kind of is.
Oh dear.
So, so it was sad that
Casper
he
is
never
the-
read that, but that was going to be the third Ghostbusters movie and would have passed the torch to the next generation. So it was surprising to me that they got them all in this movie. Because the other reason they didn't go with the passing of the torch movie is with Harold Ramis's death. After that happened, they said, all right, we pretty much can't do this. But Paul Feig had come up with the idea for this movie, and Ivan Reitman approved it, liked it, and got on board with it as producer. And I liked that it had Ivan Reitman behind it, and that it had all the surviving Ghostbusters not just behind the movie, but in the movie. So it, I think, is about the best that they could do with the sequel. I liked it better than Ghostbusters 2. I'm going to say that. Definitely.
I've seen most of Ghostbusters 2, I think.
Terrible reviewer.
Yeah, my bad.
Look, when I went and reviewed the latest Transformers movie, I watched every Transformers movie before that,
So sorry
and
to-
now have vowed to never watch another Transformers movie ever.
Transformers.
They were
Yeah.
all terrible, but I think
Yeah.
they all got slightly better. I think each film, like, it goes from 1 star to 2 star, and like in there just a little bit more.
Yeah.
The latest film mostly because of T.J. Miller.
Okay, I remember what I was going to say. It was a nice try. So I'd say see it, so that way you can judge for yourself whether you like it or not.
But I think go in with an open mind, definitely.
Yeah, be as open-minded as
Don't
possible.
go in if you.
It's not a remake. It's an
I
original
also,
movie.
I'm also gonna say too, when they first look at the comments on the video, the very first comment they read, "Ain't no women's gonna bust no ghosts." Just of addressing the internet when the movie was getting announced. I like
people
that too.
Yeah.
There are terrible people out there who are gonna like it for who dislike it for terrible reasons.
Yeah.
But I'm fine that you are disliking it for your reasons. Like you
'Cause
don't
I'm a
like
writer.
you don't like some
Blockbusters fucking
This guy has written numerous feature films that are out there, and you can go watch those feature films now. They're so
In the
out there.
future.
It's an established yes. Look, yeah, I went to school for writing, and I understand the principles behind them all of it. But sometimes just in studio films are really tough to get made. Because you have to go through so many, you have to be approved by all these different people.
Yeah.
So it's
Studio films are hard to
and
make.
then they're being edited at the end. All films are hard to make,
Okay,
but studio films are hard on writers because you write something, and
Yeah.
what you write's not going to be the final thing that gets out there.
Yeah, and it's a shame they have rewriters.
But I've enjoyed, as far as watching Melissa McCarthy films, because I don't like a lot of her films, but
Yeah, I haven't seen
I've
what I
been
don't like.
liking. I haven't seen Bridesmaids, but
too.
I like Spy, which is another Paul Feig movie.
I don't think I've even seen a Melissa McCarthy movie, honestly.
I think
so
they did well with that one. There's another Melissa McCarthy movie with Bill Murray that I really liked. I can't remember the name of it. It was more of a drama. But I've been liking the stuff that
I
that
know
Paul
what you're
Feig's been doing.
I know what you're talking about, and I
I
forget
know,
what it's
and then we're
called.
going to look it up right now. St. Vincent.
St. Vincent.
Yeah, I like that one. I think that's probably my favorite role that I've seen her in. But I think this was a good team that they assembled. A good group of 4. I think they work well, and I like that it was its own story. It wasn't the same story as the first or second movie. It had moments that are definitely reminiscent of each of it, but it was completely its own thing.
Yeah.
So I liked that, and it's not the greatest thing ever, but I'm excited to see more of it.
I mean, really, the backlash. I think if they even had like an all-male cast with like a Judd
I would be
Apatow.
super annoyed with an all-male cast, except if it went in a completely direct. Because you look at it and they got like the big names of the day for those people. So you would have definitely had the guy, I always blank on his name for it, the little short
Michael Cera.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart would have been one of them.
Yeah.
And he is super annoying, and I want to see
Seth
him.
Rogen.
No, but if it was Seth Rogen, then it would have been. I would have kind of accepted it as a stoner comedy with Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
That was Seth Rogen, James Franco.
Yeah, James Franco.
But it would have been. I would have been kind of fine with it. It would have been all pot
But
jokes.
The idea is
would've
it's
been its own
still
thing.
people are like rough on the remake, like Rocky Horror. People
Well, that's
were
they shouldn't make
But yeah, but the idea
But
is
it's not a.
they give people a double standard because you're sexist because you don't like Ghostbusters because it's all female, but you're okay to dislike Rocky Horror because Laverne Cox is Frankenfurter and everyone knows that Frankenfurter is supposed to be male. It's a double standard. Just the idea is it's a reboot. If you're gonna be hard on it, just pretend it's not a reboot. Just pretend it's its own movie, and then you can make your own opinion. I haven't seen Rocky Horror yet, the new Rocky Horror, so I don't have an opinion on it.
Didn't know it was out yet.
Was it out?
I don't think it's.
I don't know, but when it comes out,
Oh.
I doubt it.
I don't know when this review is coming out either. So maybe
Right now.
Yeah, right now it's already out.
Right now. It's for you.
This is the future. Anyway, but me personally, I originally gave it 2 out of 10 stars, but then I realized just it's its own movie, so I'll probably give it like 3 or 4 stars, which translates to 1 star out of 4. But if you are
5, we're doing out of 5.
Out of 5.
So 3 or 4 would be 1.5
it's
to
yeah
2.
1
You divide by half.
whatever, something like that. But
Divide by 2.
but if you're like a middle-aged mom who has a good sense of humor, you'll probably like it more than I did. My mom would probably like it. Mom, watch this movie.
I've already seen some good responses from some of my friends on Facebook about
Yeah,
the movie.
I've
I'm
seen
very
it.
happy about that. I definitely liked it. So I can only go based on my own taste in movies, but I give this a 4 out of 5 stars.
So yeah.
You give it a 4 out of 10. I give it a 4 out of
Yeah.
5 because that's what the scale we go based on here.
3.
Is out of 5 stars.
Because we got to do the Netflix scale.
Yeah, it's the well, we're doing the Netflix scale, but we allow half stars.
If
for
it's
this
the
one,
Netflix
so.
scale, I dislike it, but I don't hate it.
I don't care what the words say. It's the stars, man.
Yeah.
The stars.
But there's
It's all
just like some
stars.
weird in between point. It's like 1.5 on Netflix. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. No, I give 4 on this. I enjoyed it, and I want to see more of this stuff.
I would agree with the 1.5.
Sexist. I'm just joking. On the one.
Yeah, hypocrite.
Yeah. I dislike it because it's just a reboot, not because they're female.
No, I think that there was the backlash before the movie came out. There was the first batch of it that was the sexist thing about it, and then there was the other bit of it that was
it's
remaking a beloved movie.
Yeah, and then stop the fandom, whatever.
But it doesn't take away the original movie. The original one's still there. You can still enjoy it. It's still in theaters. You can watch it in theaters.
Yeah.
And it's fun to
this
watch
is
there.
an anniversary is for that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But just
Okay.
keep in
I mean,
mind,
kind of.
it's an original movie. Please view it that
84.
way, or else it'll skew your impression. Because
And according to all the posters and the on-screen title, it's called Ghostbusters Answer the Call, which is a dumb name for the movie, and it's not the name of the movie.
Ghostbusters, answer
Answer the Call looks like a tagline. It looks like a tagline, but remember when you saw the film, at the end of it, it says Ghostbusters Answer the Call at the end of the film.
Like, why?
Wait,
Which
it's
they
like
put the tagline on because it.
it's like reminding the Ghostbusters. Can you guys like answer? I know Chris Hemsworth.
I guess it's a reference to how Chris Hemsworth
Yes.
never answered the phone correctly.
Yep.
Or Ghostbusters make the call, maybe, or
I also liked every time he answered the phone.
they
I
ain't
liked all
afraid
the
of
different ways.
They ain't afraid of no ghosts. They just
Uh,
because if you haven't seen the movie and answer the call's the tagline, it just makes it seem like they're more incompetent than they really were.
Yeah.
Answer the damn call, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
all right.
Anyway,
Well, thank you all for watching and listening. Let us know in the comments what you thought.
please don't hate me. I'm gonna get so much shit
No,
for this.
look, there's none of us are favorable to anyone.
I'm not sexist.
No one can like all of us.
I'm just bitter.
Either people are going to hate you guys for your reviews, or they're going to hate me for liking the movie. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
Either way, we're covered
I
on
think
all
we're
hate.
even.
Yeah, we're even on all our hates out there. Yeah, thanks, and subscribe to us on YouTube and on iTunes, our podcast, and the video series all up there. Thanks.